Hello, it's Maria here, and today we're going to be doing a project inspired by Escher. Maurice Cornelis Escher was a Dutch graphic artist who made photorealistic pencil drawings and visual illusions. He played with perspective, reflections, and negative and positive space. He was the first known artist to make a living by selling pencil drawings. In these photos of his drawings, you can see that they almost get more confusing the longer you look at them, but they're very interesting. For today's project, you're going to practice drawing a small object with a graphite pencil. You're also welcome to put a creative spin on it and create some kind of illusion in the style of Escher. However, you still have to draw an object and it must have light, highlight, shadow, and texture. Find a small object in your house that you'd be interested in drawing. Also grab a white cardboard or nice drawing paper, as well as a couple different kinds of graphite pencils. The object that I chose to draw today is a roll of toilet paper. Set your object up in front of you with a lamp or something so that it has a clear light source. As always, start by pressing very lightly on your pencil and just sketch out a general silhouette of your object. Only after that you can start to go into more detail and figure out the exact shape. My object is pretty simple because it's mainly just a cylinder, but I still have to pay attention to the perspective as well as small details like extra paper folding off or the cardboard in the center. When you're shading something, the first thing you want to do is figure out where the darkest spot will be and where the lightest spot will be. This will make sure that everything in between doesn't get too dark or too light. Personally, I like to start by shading on the left side so that when I move my hand around it doesn't smudge everything. When you're shading something with a pencil, the main thing you'll be doing is creating lots and lots of parallel lines. Press lightly and hold your pencil at this angle so that the lines all come out straight and even. This makes it so that whatever large flat area you're filling in will be completely covered and evenly covered. To make areas darker, you create more and more layers of these parallel lines. It slowly starts to build up and then you get smooth transitions of shading. Even though this cardboard in the center will be the darkest part of the whole roll, I didn't immediately start pressing hard on my pencil. I built up many layers of soft lines so that it came out very smooth and even. Having smooth transitions in your shading is especially important for round objects like spheres or cylinders. When figuring out where to put your shadows and midtones, think about where the light is coming from. But most importantly, just look at your object and see which places are darker and which places are lighter. Also keep in mind that an object doesn't have to be metallic or look like a mirror in order to reflect some light. If you have part of your object in a shadow, but that part is next to something white, then it's likely that there'll be a very slight reflection of it. We can see that in the way that the leftmost side of the cylinder is a little bit lighter than the shadow next to it, because it's right next to a white piece of paper that's hanging off. As I'm finalizing my drawing, I'm reminding myself where the lightest and the darkest spots of the object should be. That means that the rest of the object will have to stay between these two values. Now I'm adding a few hints at the texture of the rolled up paper. Also make sure to add a drop shadow. A drop shadow is the shadow that your object leaves on the surface it's on. Make sure that the drop shadow and your object don't blend in too much. To put a creative twist on this drawing, I was inspired by the patterns on the toilet paper to create some weird, funky creatures to put all around it. I lightly sketched them out first, then defined them and started to add some slight shadow. I didn't want them jumping out of the toilet paper too much, I wanted them to be more just a texture on the surface. This is my finished product. Now, it's your turn.